Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, thanks so much for continuing to watch. We're going to close out the show talking about this political climate that we're in a little bit. I know that for many, it can cause a bit of anxiety. So I'm here with Stacey Theory, and we're going to give you some tips about how to cope.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
No, I appreciate your time. You know, I feel like there was a time when it didn't matter whether it was election season or, what the political climate was like. There wasn't this kind of upheaval in emotion, but now it seems kind of stressful for everybody.
Certainly, yes. And I really appreciate you bringing attention to this topic. It's really important to give people and equip people with tips and techniques for how to navigate what might be tense or stressful conversations.
And for some people, it's even tense or stressful in their homes. Like, family dynamics, people may not be on the same page politically. And so when it's election season or it's election time, things can be a little tense and you don't really have an escape because it's tense in your own house. Do you have any tips for those people?
Yeah, I certainly do. And again, I just want to express gratitude for being able to speak on this topic. I think it's important to, first of all, know what it is your intention is when you're engaging in these conversations, right? And also just have some self awareness to know that while some of these topics you may feel very passionate about when you're discussing, but a lot of times what you may interpret as passionate may come off as angry or agitated or intimidating to those around you.
Now, I hadn't even thought about that. So often we don't recognize what it looks like on the other side, on the other side of the coin, on the flip side. And so you're right, self-awareness in itself, self-awareness is very important in terms of how we're delivering the message and how we're receiving some messages, yes?
Right. Yeah. And I think it's important too to be aware of how your nervous system is responding in that situation, right? Pay attention to any cues that your body might be signaling to you that maybe the conversation is getting a little too tense, and knowing when to disengage and maybe transition into finding some common ground.
Oh, I love that. I love the word disengage because I think that, again, sometimes, depending on what the conversation is, we feel like we're giving up or we feel like, we're
Right.
giving into the conversation when we just kind of step back. But you're saying, no, sometimes that's exactly what you need to do.
Absolutely. Consider too, like I said before, what is the intention of the conversation? Go into it with more of an approach of being curious rather than an agenda for trying to conform or change somebody else's mindset.
Oh, you're so right. So often the purpose behind the conversation can be important, and we just kind of gloss over that, right? And jump right in, feet first. In terms of our own health, our own mental health, are there any tools that we should have in our toolbox?
I think it's really important to really get familiar with the sensations in your body so that you can know. A lot of times that anxiety creeps up physically before we even notice what's going on mentally. So it's always a good idea to just practice really deep, slow breathing that can help keep the nervous system regulated, and maybe even kind of doing some grounding exercises if you're feeling a little overwhelmed in the situation. And that might look like doing an exercise where you look around you and just name all the things you can see that are blue or something like that.
Oh, wow. You know what? I think that sometimes we don't even recognize how these conversations and these debates or whatever are affecting us are affecting us physically. We recognize the mental aspect, but we don't recognize that we're breathing a little faster or we're starting to sweat a little bit. Are there things that we should look out for?
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So pay attention to what's happening physically and then maybe move some of that energy around. Maybe change the setting that you're in, go for a walk, or just move locations. Maybe just drink a glass of water, something that you can do to get into the body and present with your physical sensations. That's always a good tip, too.
Oh, I love that. Well, I can't let you get out of here then without talking to us about, where we could go if we're in need of maybe a new therapist or, maybe we're searching for someone to have these discussions with on a consistent basis because we're not sure how it's affecting us, physically as well as mentally and emotionally. And we just need to bounce some things off of, sometimes that's all I use my therapist for. I'm just bouncing things off of her. I don't know if she loves that or not, but it's helpful to me.
Yeah, yeah. So what's nice about the platform I work for is Grow Therapy. Is Grow Therapy has made access to mental health services available to people nationwide. So you can just log on to the website and find somebody through your insurance.
Oh, thank you so much. Stacey, it was good to meet you. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. All right, she's already put my mind at ease a little bit. Sometimes we just need to take an opportunity to step back, maybe even talk to a professional about the things that are going on when the climate is even, politically, we're in an uproar, or, it could be something else. So take the opportunity to learn more. And thanks, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode of Focus Atlanta. I hope to see you next Sunday here on WUGA.